Hey everyone, back tuning into this evening's update. Just going to do a quick update of the midday runs of the models which are all coming in at the moment. They always update between 4 and 7 o'clock in the evening. We may not have the whole run of the E70 because it does update till just a few minutes after 7. I'm recording the video at just 6:45. So we may not have the full run of the ECM, but we have got all the other models to quickly run through. So I'll show you what we're showing in a second. Of course, it's all about the cold weather coming up next week. It looks like it will be turning cold. There's a few complications with this from the GFS, though, particularly in terms of how quickly we get this cold down across the country. So I'll show you the charts in a second, but before I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's each articles on all pages of gadgets, whether to have a browse through widgets and click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, thanks very much for doing that. This video ads, most pages, you say open up with content when you watch them, they'll close back up again. It's all having to pay for our website. The last time that I did these evening model updates for cold weather was back in the winter of 2012-2013. It's been a long time since we've had a setup that warrants this sort of evening update. So I'm going to start off with the GFS for Monday, and this is the changeover day. This area of low pressure sitting over country that will be bringing showers or longer spells of rain through the country. Cold air beginning to dig in from the north. As we go through into Tuesday, you see that low pressure is pushed off into central parts of Europe, opening the door to these northerly winds. But notice the winds are coming a long way around the country on a long Atlantic fetch, if you like. So it's not a direct northerly that's bringing the air down from the North Pole. It is cold air, but it's going over a lot of ocean there to get to us. So it will be moderated if it comes off like this. And then within that unstable air, we actually generated an area of low pressure, and that just delays the cold air getting it down into the south quite enough. It's not cold front that sweeps across the country and places us in a northerly wind very quickly. There's a lot of dithering going on and messing around with these areas of low pressure, sort of dumbbelling around the country in this flow. Eventually, it does all end up as a cold pattern. The low pressure dives southwards, so by the time we go through to Thursday and Friday, the cold air is coming down, even down into the south, with pressure really going up across Greenland at 1,060 millibars. So it's a delay on getting the cold down into the south, and with those areas of low pressure, there's probably some snow around as well, particularly for central and northern parts of the country, more likely rain in the south. By the end of next week, that cold air does arrive even down in the south, and then we run through up to day 10, which takes through to Sunday the 17th of January, and you see we're in a really cold pattern then. Very blocked conditions over Greenland. The isobars, you follow them back, they're going directly to the North Pole, so there's no sort of long ocean fetch there with that. It's just a direct northerly hit. There's an area of low pressure running across south that's probably bringing us a big snow event down across southern parts of the country, but that's 10 days away. Can't be relied upon. The GFS ensemble showed that we have still got a downwards trend with the ensemble. That's where we are at the moment. You see they're generally going downwards, but there is scatter here, and they don't all go down very quickly, is the point that I'm trying to get across. So it may take a while to get the cold air down into the south if this is right, but north no problems, but the south may take several days next week to really get that cold air entrenched. Now, the UK Met Office model, I don't have to show you this one, but that is bringing this northerly through very quickly, and there's no messing around with it. So this is Monday, and already the low pressure by midday Monday is to the east of us, bring down these northerly winds, and they just stay with us going through into Tuesday. You see the difference. It's a direct northerly. There's no secondary low pressures dumbbelling around the country, delaying the progress. So this is for Wednesday, and you see that the ice bars are coming right from the top of the North Pole, screaming down across the country. There's probably not all that much snow away from exposed areas, but my word, that would be very cold, particularly at night with severe nighttime frost. So that one going for a direct hit and very quick from this northerly wind. The GEM is a bit more like the GFS. So here we are on Monday with the low pressure still stuck across the country. And you see again there's a long fetch to this northerly, northwesterly over the ocean. So yes, it is turning cold, but it's taking a long time to get that cold penetrating down into the south of the country, and that is delayed a bit more, really, going through into Wednesday. So up to Wednesday, southern parts probably not all that cold. It is cold for the north though, and this trough coming southwards on Wednesday would be producing snow. By Thursday it's all sort of simplifying, and we do then really start to get into this cold air even down in the south of the country. Notice a lot of blocking there out to the north and west of the country around Greenland and Iceland. Excuse me. And then we go through into Friday again, pulling down this northerly wind. It's following isobars back. It's a direct hit from the Arctic with this northerly. The block out across Greenland and Iceland, the trough across central and eastern parts of Europe. So bitterly cold air is coming down through the country. By the end of next week, we would all be feeling that chill. And then we go through up to day 10, which is 17th of January. And again, we're very much locked in here to this cold pattern, this block that's set up around Greenland and Iceland. It's not going anywhere fast. There's a deep trough through much of Europe. The isobars are in from the north and the northeast, so that's bitterly cold air eventually getting down across all parts of the country. It takes a long time to get there, but the GEM does get there, as does the GFS actually. They all get there, just takes several days longer than perhaps some of us would like. And then finally, the E70F, I don't know how far we're going to get with this. We should get to 216 hours. I think we may not get to the full 10-day run. So again, on Monday, I've got the low pressure over the top of the country, quite a deep trough. Clears away to the east, and we bring down these northerly winds. This is in between the GFS and GEM and the UK Met Office, so it's not dithering about as much and getting that cold air down across the country as the GFS and the GEM. It's not quite the direct hit of the UK Met Office. It may be how it finishes up playing out. So we are bringing down a northerly wind. It is cold on Tuesday, and then as we go through into Wednesday, some sort of trough coming through the country within cold air. And there's an area of low pressure that's run across England and Wales Wednesday into Thursday. If that came off like that, it's a little way off, but if it came off like that, would produce quite a lot of snow there for England and Wales. And then we go through to 192 hours, very much again locked in a really cold pattern here, loads of blocking around Greenland and Iceland, the trough of low pressure extending through the UK into central parts of Europe. And the NAO is negative as well as low pressure around the Azores. Follow the isobars back, the air's pulling in from the north and the northeast of the country. Having a look at the upper air temperatures with that, we are well within cold air. So that's proper cold air across all parts of the country by the end of next week with the E70F, and probably a snow event sometime around Wednesday or Thursday. This is 216 hours away, still again very much in a cold pattern there. That really is quite a spectacular block that's set up across Greenland and Iceland. That's a proper blocking feature. So again, the air is coming from the north and northeast. Very light winds, so severe night frost would be probable with that one. I don't think we can go any further than that. I don't think 240 hour chart was updated yet. Try Meteor Seal. So that's not updated yet. So we can't show you the day 10 chart, but the E70F is very much going for the idea that we pull down those northerly winds as we get through the course next week. Quite quickly it comes down and we end up locked in a really cold pattern. There is a suggestion of quite a snow event sometime around Wednesday or Thursday with the ECM. The UK Met Office is a direct hit from the north, no messing about. Probably not all that much snow away from exposed areas, but it's very cold with those northerly winds soon pushing down through the country. And then the GFS and the GEM, they do both get to a very cold pattern by the end of next week. We are firmly in those northerly winds. They just take a bit longer to get there. So it means that southern parts probably don't feel the worst of the chill until the second half of next week. The north, though, gets it from early on, and eventually that cold air does get down to all parts of the country. So it's not bad, really, especially when you think that we haven't had hardly any cold weather over the past couple of winters. Looks like we're trending in the same direction, just little complications cropping up along the way, and it might all look very different by the time we get through to tomorrow anyway. So keep checking back to the website for all of the updates, and I'll be keeping you informed, of course, as this pattern develops. But certainly it looks like we're in for quite a taste of winter next week. That's it for now then. Thanks for watching.